mozzarella, put a little seasoning, and roll them in.
I gotta tear into this bad boy.
No problem. You have at it.
Oh, dude.
He's on fire.
Glenn. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another fantastic episode of America's Best Restaurant. If you don't already know, I'm Theo Williams, and I'm today's host. And today we are here at Storm Shelter Pub in Avon, Illinois. And I heard the owners have such a fantastic concept that they really want America to see and show off. Oh yeah, and I heard the food is pretty good too. So we finna go inside, get to the eating, and have a good time.
Theo.
Hey, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
Margie.
Margie, America's Best Restaurants is really excited to be here right now. The Storm Shelter, I heard a lot about it, but I'm here now and it looks phenomenal. You got all these pool tables, you got air hockey, you got the game. I don't even know what the game's called, but the game where you punch it, you know? Yeah, the boxing game.
Machine.
Yeah, this place is awesome. So how long have you been working here?
7 years since day one.
Really?
Yes.
7 years. So what's your relationship here?
My brother owns it.
Your
and
brother's
I manage
Glenn?
it. My brother's Glenn.
Ah, okay, okay, I got that. Oh, well, that's
So-
cool. All right, Margie, well, I think it's time that I go find where Glenn is. Do you know where he's at
Yep,
right now?
let's go.
All right, sounds good.
Theo, what's up, man? Welcome upstairs.
Hey, Glenn, man, thank you so much for having us here, dude. I mean, it is really boss downstairs,
I
man.
appreciate it. Yeah, we've put our heart into it. Got you some food here ready. Had them to get you some steak bites. Fan favorite. We got some homemade horsey sauce to dip it into.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with those.
No, that is so tasty. First off, the steak bite is so tender. Like, it literally, like, you don't even need, I could have gums and I can chew on this steak bites, man. Like, the flavor that you guys have on, do you marinate this or something? Like, that is amazing.
They do it all. That's their special thing down in the kitchen. That's one of those things.
I love that, man. Yeah, that's definitely good. And this horseradish sauce, like, it's not overpowering. It's not, like,
No, it's
too,
not.
like, it's very creamy.
Yeah, a lot of people say horseradish, they immediately think hot. It's not them, but no, that's not the case there. That's amazing. It pairs well with the steak bites. Can't go wrong with that.
No, you can't go wrong at all.
No, not at all. And then our other thing I got you is some homemade mozzarella sticks. We actually make those fresh in-house. So they cube the mozzarella, put a little seasoning, and roll them in egg roll wrappers.
I don't know if you know anything about me, but when I tell you, I love cheese, marinara, and any kind of a dough substance.
That's you, huh?
This is totally me. I gotta tear into this bad boy.
No problem. You have at it.
Oh, dude.
He's on fire.
Glenn. Yo, I love the crispiness. Man, this is so good, dude. Yeah, man, all the food here is so delicious. But Glenn, not gonna lie, there's an 800-pound gorilla, an elephant in the room right now. You have a golf simulator in here.
We do. So we changed this from my wife's CPA firm into a golf simulator about 3 years ago. Made ourselves. It's called the Bunker. We call it the Bunker. So yeah, welcome to the Bunker. Let's see what you got though. If you're finished eating.
Glenn, you take this over. I'm gonna ask you some questions.
All right.
So, Glenn, tell me about the history of this building because, you know, this place looks like it has a lot of stories to tell.
So the building we're in right now was built in 1900. It was originally two businesses. From where we're at now until
Nice.
to the very end of the building, the next building over, it actually caught on fire and burnt when it was wood back in 1899. And so this wall here was built in 1900, and that building on the other side was 1900, and then the rest of this stuff was two separate buildings. We purchased the building about 7 years ago. and then we've just been adding on. So the wife's office came up here in 17, and then in 19, we moved her, and this became empty space, so we converted it into a golf simulator. I did 20 years in the Army. I retired out of Fort Lewis, and then we decided we'd come home. I had hired out with the railroad, and we transferred inside the railroad and came back home here.
You know, it's one of those things where, you know, you guys are such a big part of the community, you know, so tell the people about the name Storm Shelter Pub and how it relates to the community at large.
Well, in 2016, the state was forcing the schools to consolidate. So when the schools consolidated, the kids ended up choosing the A-Town Tornadoes as their school mascot, or the name of their school. And at the same time, our community here had been hit with a tornado. So on top of those two things, causing us to think along those lines, then come out of the storm of life and have a drink.
Well, I love to hear it, but you know what? I think now it's time for me to talk to your wife for a little bit, my man. Okay, guys, so right now I'm here with Krissa, and she's another one of the owners here at the Storm Shelter.
Yep, I hear you met my husband upstairs,
I
played some
did.
golf.
Look, that's a loose term if you want to use it. Played golf. I basically swung and missed. Sounds like my dating life in high school.
Well, the sensor sometimes will pick that up. So even if you missed the ball, did it give you some yards?
It did give me some yards. It pitied me. It had pity on my soul. So right now we're sitting down here. I got two delicious things in front of me. I don't even have to ask. I know what this is. I got a half rack of ribs right here, some baked beans, and some sweet potato fries.
Yep, and some coleslaw.
And some coleslaw. So tell me what, like, are these special sauces? Like, what's going on with the sauces here before I try it?
All right, so the ribs, we serve them plain, but the sauce next to it is called Mom's Barbecue. It is actually Glenn's mother's barbecue recipe. Look at that. Yep.
And you see the smoke coming off it? Oh, yeah, I love that.
They just fall right off the bone. That's what I love about them.
And you said this is Glenn's mom's?
It is Glenn's mom's barbecue recipe.
Wow.
Homemade barbecue.
Okay,
Yep.
Glenn's mom's homemade barbecue sauce recipe. So I gotta give it a go. Thank you, Mama Glenn. Give this a nice little dip right here. Oh, I love it already. Look at that.
Nice color, yeah. We do have our own smoker, so we smoke these in-house. These were smoked this morning.
I gotta tell you, for me, the measure of a good rib is what the flavors are.
Yes.
Without the sauce.
These you don't even need the sauce, and that is why we put them on the side, because it's just amazing by itself.
Smoked perfectly. You saw me pull it.
Yes, yep.
No issue there. So it's tender and great flavor coming off of it. And then that barbecue sauce, thank you, Mama Glenn, because that barbecue sauce hits hard. Knock that out the park. That is really delicious.
Awesome.
That is really good. I'm gonna try these baked beans,
Yep,
though.
the baked beans, that is our cook, Lisa's masterpiece.
Our masterpiece.
Yeah, they're not just from a can. Like,
I'm telling you right now, I feel like I just want to sit outside in the sun with a beer in my hand, because it feels like I'm at a cookout right now.
Right,
Like just a
yes.
happy cookout with delicious food, because that's where it kind of transports me, just eating this stuff. That is a great job right there.
awesome. The coleslaw is also Glenn's mom's recipe. We have deviled eggs. Not a lot of places have deviled eggs. That's also Mom Glenn's, Judy is her name, recipe.
I love that. It's a lot sweeter than most coleslaws.
Yes.
Sweeter and
Yes.
creamier than most coleslaws
Yep.
tend to be.
Yep.
I like that a lot. Man, Mama Glenn, you killing it right now. 2 for 2. Love it. And then now we got the sweet
All
potato
right.
fries.
So the last thing, we hand cut our French fries and our sweet potato fries, and then you're dipping that in a maple mayo sauce that we make from scratch.
Maple mayo.
Maple mayo.
I've never heard such a thing, so we're gonna get that a go. Oh. Oh man. That smack your mama good. Oh, that is,
The sauce is just on
love
point.
it. That is so good. That is so good. Well, I want to ask you some more questions, Krissa, but
Sure.
I think it'd be really fun to ask you some questions while we're playing a game of pool, because we got pool tables right next to
behind
it.
us. Perfect. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, let's go. You want to break or you want me to break?
You can break.
Okay, I'll break. All right. talk to me a little bit about, the delicious food, like how do you guys come up with, so many delicious things here?
Yeah, so like he mentioned, I'm a CPA, but when I was getting my CPA degree, I worked in, oh, you got one.
I got one.
I worked in many restaurants. So I've worked in many restaurants, many kitchens, had training, and so I really do a lot of hands-on in the kitchen. I wanted to make stuff from scratch, so his mom contributed, like I said. We smoke our ribs here. We smoke brisket too.
Really?
We have a brisket BLT on a nice big square bun that is phenomenal.
Oh, that
yeah.
sounds so delicious. So, I mean, you said you're a CPA.
Yes.
So what's it like to transition from being a CPA and then owning a bar and splitting those two times together?
We're just crazy. But my husband is the master designer. So all that you're seeing, this was a quilt shop that we built this bar from scratch. So my husband's the master designer. I'm the financial, no, you can't do that this year, maybe next year, watch the spending.
Yes.
So, all right, what'd you get in? You got a solid?
Well, so yeah, I got 2 solids in,
right.
and so
you
I
backed
pretty
it
much,
up.
I set you up right there. I mean, you got a
I
real
don't
easy
know.
shot right there.
That's a scratch shot. Or I have to hit my ball first, so I don't think that's gonna happen. Oh.
So
See, I didn't even hit my ball.
So when you guys, came down here, you opened it up, because you're not originally from here, right?
No, I'm from Washington State. So I think he showed you earlier, he was in the military 20 years. Up there is his military gear, and there's a sign that has all his duty stations.
Nice.
So he started here in Avon, he lived here, he joined the military. He was in, Hawaii, Korea, DC. Nice, thank you.
I just helped you out there.
Yeah. And so his last duty station was Fort Lewis, Washington. That's where we met.
Okay.
So I grew up in Washington State.
Well, I mean, I gotta say, this is a really awesome bar, and we've been having a really great time, and I really appreciate you guys inviting America's Best Restaurants to come down here.
Yes, awesome. It's been a blast.
Now, is there anything that we haven't covered yet that you want the people of America to know about coming down here to the Storm Shelter Pub?
I do, through the red doors right here next to us, we do have a dining room. So I would like to point out it is a family friendly. Like, we're not just, the bar restaurant atmosphere with the TVs. We do have a nice dining room. It's Monday, so we have our tacos set up. So you get your meat and your shells and you put your own cheese and everything else. On the weekends, we have ribeyes, salmon, grilled chicken, and we have a salad bar set up. So,
And you guys even have a movie
family
theater
friendly.
upstairs.
Yes, and the movie theater.
This sounds like the perfect place down here in Avon, Illinois, and I love the fact that it's so fresh and it's so fun in here, and the food is delicious.
Awesome, yes.
Well, you know what, Krista? I'm having a great time here. But I think it's time to shut off the cameras, and I want to go back to playing you in this game, because I'm trying to get a W.
I need to concentrate, because you're kicking my ass right now. So.
All right, well, we're going to keep it pushing, and I'm going to say thank you on camera for the people at home.
Perfect.
And now we're going to go back to playing some pool. All right, guys, so we just had a phenomenal time here at the Storm Shelter Pub. I mean, Glenn and Krista are amazing owners that had an amazing concept for this building. I mean, this is one of the only places I've ever been to where you can hit a golf ball, you can watch a movie, you can play some pool, you can play air hockey, and of course, well, as you see behind me, you can throw an axe. But most importantly, the food is quality, and Glenn and Krista are quality people. So make sure if you're ever in the area of Avon, Illinois, you make your way on down to the Storm Shelter. I'm Theo Williams for America's Best Restaurants. Hope to see you.